and welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel in the first place. Today we have a Hitoshi X vampire listener. Listener wiped a small trickle of blood from the corner of their mouth as they sling the female body over their shoulder. "It would be rude of me to just leave you here, wouldn't it?" they said with a smirk as they walked down the street until they reached the wretched girl's apartment. Listener took the keys from the girl's pocket, opening the door and throwing them inside, and then walked away from the house. Ugh, people are starting to taste like pure iron no matter how much I butter them up. I can't stand it, Listener thought, looking up at the clouded sky. Maybe I'll find a suitable person at that stupid school, they thought, entering their home. Once the sun rises, Listener quickly shut their blinds, and they got ready. The style they had chosen for their uniform resembled Bakugo's. A messy outfit, if you can call it that. Listener ran their hand through their tangled hair. They grabbed their bag and slung it over their shoulder, grabbing an umbrella from a corner. Once outside, Listener opened it to protect their sensitive skin from the dreaded sun. A glimpse of purple locks caught their eyes. Listener watched the male walk a few rows in front of them. They followed behind the boy as they entered the UA gates. "Hi, I'm new. I was wondering if you could show me around," Listener asked as they walked up towards the purple-haired male. "Why do you have an umbrella when it isn't raining?" Shinsou asked, looking at Listener. "I'm allergic to the sun. Now, can you please show me to my class?" Listener said with a smile. Shinsou's eyes widened. Listener should have been wrapped around his mind control. Sure," Listener stuttered as confusion flooded over him. Not only does he smell good, he's quite attractive, and 2-for-1 deal, Listener thought as they handed Shinsou the schedule paper. "You have the same classes as me. Just follow me around and you'll be fine," Shinsou said, handing back the schedule paper. Thank you," Listener said, and brought Shinsou's hand up to their lips, placing a gentle kiss on it. "Hey, what do you think you're doing?" Shinsou shouted, jerking his hand back with a small tint of pink dusting his cheeks. "Showing my thanks in a public setting? I could have showed it in other ways, but I found this acceptable," Listener said as they started walking to the side. Listener said as they started to walk inside the school. They pulled their umbrella in and held it to their side. Upon entering the classroom, Listener caught almost every eye. A grin pulled at their lips. Feeding on people in here won't be a problem for me," they thought, sitting down in a seat. They watched as Shinsou sat down in front of them. Such a sweet smell, it's so overwhelming, Listener thought, licking their lips. I didn't ask before, but what's your name?" Listener hummed. "Why does that concern you?" Shinsou asked, not turning to look at them. "So mean, I'm Listener. I was hoping we could be friends," they said with a smile. "It's Shinsou," he said quietly. Sorry, I couldn't hear you. Could you speak a little louder?" Listener teased with a grin. "My name is Shinsou. Did you hear me that time, or do I have to have President Mike yell it out for you?" Shinsou said, rolling his eyes. "I just wanted to hear your voice again. It sounds quite angelic," Listener said with a smile. "Shut up, idiot," Shinsou grumbled, covering his blood-red face. "Oh, this is gonna take forever," Listener thought, laying their head down on their desk. The next week was calm and full of Listener trying to win over Shinsou, but to no avail. That day during lunch break, people surrounded Listener as they picked up their things. They were asking them about which school they came from, what their quirk was, asking to have lunch with them, and so on and so forth. "Hey, Shinsou, do you want to have lunch with me?" they shouted out to Shinsou. "Not really," Shinsou shouted back, walking out of the lunchroom, pushing past the people before following Shinsou. Hey, Listener said, walking beside him. "What do you want? You follow me around like a lovesick puppy. It's annoying," Shinsou snapped. "Well, maybe I am a lovesick puppy, Shinsou. Did you ever think about that?" Listener said as they glided over to Shinsou. "But did you also think it might be for you?" Listener said, lifting Shinsou's chin. Listener stared into his indigo eyes. Shinsou slapped their hand away. "What the hell are you thinking? Stop trying to get at me. I'm not interested in someone like you," Shinsou said, stepping back. "Oh, is that how it is?" Listener said with a smirk and a devilish look in their eyes. Look," Shinsou said as he was pinned against the chain-link fence. "Well, I guess I'll just have to show you what you'll be missing if you turn me down." Listener slammed their lips into Shinsou's. Shinsou closed his eyes, allowing it to just happen at the moment. Listener pulled back. They let go of Shinsou before turning towards the exit. Wait a second," Shinsou said. Listener smirked to themselves. "I've got him," they thought before turning around. "Why me? Why do you want me?" he asked. "Well, other people are starting to bore me," Listener said before they turned around, walking away. No, I'll ask you again. Do you want to have lunch with me, Shinsou? Listener said, playing with his hair. Shinsou had a pink tint across his cheeks. Sure, I'll do whatever, he grumbled as Listener grabbed his wrist and dragged him off into an empty hallway. They sat down to eat their lunch. Listener opened up a bottle with a red liquid in it. It was almost like syrup with how slow it moved. Are you drinking blood? Shinsou said with a shocked expression. Listener chuckled. No, it's Kool-Aid. Do you want some? Listener asked, offering him the bottle. No thank you, he said as he continued to eat. Listener gently turned Shinsou's head to face him. Listener leaned in for a kiss, and Shinsou did the same. Once their lips connected, Listener's lips tasted sweet. It was probably the Kool-Aid they were drinking with their lunch. Listener pushed their hand up on the back of Shinsou's head as someone cleared their throat. The pair quickly split apart. Oh, hi, Mr. Aizawa, Listener said, rubbing the back of their head. Next time you guys decide to make out, don't do it in a hallway. You might get expelled, Aizawa said, walking past them. Listener chuckled when they looked up to Shinsou, who was bright red. My training is going to be so damn awkward now, he groaned, covering up his face. Listener smiled. You're absolutely adorable, Listener said, kissing his cheek. Shut up, Shinsou said, playfully pushing Listener away from him. A sweet and now sickening smell hit Listener's nose as they quickly slid away, grabbing their stuff. I'll see you around, Shinsou. I've gotta go, Listener said, walking away. Oh, no, I'm attached and I don't want to feed off of him, Listener thought, rubbing their temples. After school, Shinsou walked up to Listener. What was that about earlier? You just up and left, Shinsou said as Listener stayed. Hey, aren't you gonna answer me? Shinsou said, again recovering no reply. Are you serious? Bite me, Shinsou said as he started to leave. If that's your request, Listener said, grabbing Shinsou by his sleeve and pulling him into an alleyway and pinning him. Sharp fangs sank into his skin. Shock went through Shinsou. Stop that, Shinsou shouted, trying to push Listener off. Shinsou's hand flew up to his now bleeding neck. Listener's eyes widened with realization. Shinsou, I'm sorry, I didn't mean... So that's why you've been trying to get with me? A vampire who needs a loyal blood bank, right? Shinsou snapped. No, that's why I was ignoring you. I didn't want to feed off of you. I mean, that was my plan at first, I can admit that, but I really like you, and I don't want to cause you pain by feeding. I'd rather starve than hurt you, Shinsou. Please, just believe me, Listener said, placing their hand on Shinsou's cheek. Have you been starving yourself, blood-wise? Shinsou asked. Yeah, Listener said quietly. He sighed as he loosened his tie and pulled his collar away from his neck. Bite me again, you idiot, Shinsou said, pushing Listener's head down towards his neck. Listener gently bit down. He felt Shinsou grasping onto the cloth of their shirt. Listener pulled back and slammed their lips into Shinsou's. Naturally, Shinsou kissed him back, a passionate one that lasted the two a few seconds before having to pull back. I guess you're stuck with me, Listener said. Shut up and kiss me again. Don't make me repeat myself, Shinsou said as Listener laughed at his demands, before pressing their lips against Shinsou's once again. Alright, so this is just like a little update on the whole Discord server. We've been having, and when I say we, like me, the admins and the moderators, have been having some issues with people being generally disrespectful, and we decided the best way to kind of deal with this is just going to be, I guess you could call it, to nuke the server. So by that I mean I'm getting rid of it, but there is still going to be another server, but the way to get to that one will be to DM me just on Discord, and it'll work, and just say, hey, my name is whatever, can I join the server? And I will be trying to get back to as many people as I can. I can't promise that it'll be like super duper timely, because I might be asleep or I might be doing something else like school, but I really do want to try and get everyone who wants to be in there in. Either way, Fanfic link, music link, and my Discord username will all be in the description. I will see you in the next one, and goodbye!